According to the CDC, about 58.5 million adults in the United States have arthritis, or roughly 24% of the adult population. The World Health Organization estimates that over 350 million people worldwide have arthritis. The most common form of arthritis is osteoarthritis, which affects the cartilage in the joints. Other forms of arthritis include rheumatoid arthritis, gout, and lupus. Arthritis is very common among older adults, with 73% of people with arthritis being aged 55 or older. But it's not limited to older people only, and can also affect people of all ages, including children. If you're one of the millions of people who suffer from arthritis, you know how painful it can be. So in this video, let's learn about some foods that you should stop eating if you have arthritis. Number 1 on our list is processed foods. Processed foods are usually altered from their natural state, often to make them last longer on the shelf or taste better. They seem convenient, but they can be problematic if you have arthritis. Processed foods often contain things like trans fats and high levels of salt. These things can make inflammation worse, and inflammation is a big deal when you have arthritis. Another reason is that processed foods also tend to have a lot of added sugars. Some examples are soda drinks, cookies, ice cream, sugary breakfast cereals, energy drinks, and many commercial fruit juices that contain added sugar. High sugar intake can lead to weight gain, and extra weight can put more stress on your joints, making arthritis pain even worse. Plus, it can increase your risk of developing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, and you definitely don't want it to add to your health problems. So, limit the intake of processed foods and focus on fresh whole foods instead. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. If you find our videos helpful, please support us by becoming a patron. Number 2. Red meat. Actually, red meat like beef or lamb typically has high levels of saturated fat. This kind of fat can increase inflammation in your body. And as you may already know, inflammation can make your joint pain and stiffness much worse. Additionally, red meat is also often high in purines. These compounds aren't inherently bad for your body, and in fact, they are quite essential for your cells to make energy, and even synthesis of your genetic material, like DNA and RNA. But too much of them can lead to higher levels of uric acid in your body, which then crystallize and deposit around your joints, causing gout. But don't worry, you don't have to give up meat entirely. You can still enjoy lean proteins like chicken, turkey, and fish in moderate quantities. They're generally low in saturated fats, and can also help reduce inflammation to some extent. Moving on to number 3. Sugary drinks and desserts. Sugary foods and drinks like soda, and many commercial fruit juices and desserts can make your arthritis symptoms worse. Sugars can also trigger inflammation in your body, and chronic inflammation can make your arthritis symptoms worse, and even increase your risk of other chronic diseases, like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Also, those sweet treats can make you gain weight. Extra weight puts extra pressure on your joints, especially your knees and hips. That means more pain and discomfort. So stop consuming these unhealthy drinks and desserts altogether. Instead, try drinking water, herbal teas, or eating whole fruits to help reduce inflammation and strengthen your joints. Number 4. Gluten. Gluten is basically a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. Some people, especially those suffering from celiac disease, are sensitive to gluten and must avoid it. But what's the connection between gluten and arthritis for some people? Well, it's not about gluten causing arthritis directly. Instead, it's about inflammation. Arthritis is all about inflammation in your joints, and for some people, gluten can trigger inflammation in their bodies. So, if you already have arthritis, that extra inflammation from gluten can make your joint pain and stiffness worse. To see if gluten is actually worsening your condition, you can skip gluten-based products for a while and see if it makes a difference. Eventually, the best thing to do is talk to your doctor. They can help you figure out if a gluten-free diet is right for you. Next, on number 5, we have alcohol. Several studies have shown that alcohol can increase inflammation in the body, which can worsen arthritis symptoms. Alcohol can also mess with the medications you might be taking for arthritis and make them less effective. Plus, alcohol can make you gain weight, which isn't great for your joints either. If you've got arthritis, it's best not to drink alcohol at all. Always have a chat with your healthcare expert about alcohol. They can give you advice that fits your specific situation, including the medicines you're taking. Moving to number 6, fried foods. The tempting aroma of hot, sizzling fried foods always grabs the attention of food lovers. But if you have arthritis, you should avoid fried foods. Let me explain why. Firstly, fried foods are usually high in unhealthy fats, like trans fats and saturated fats. These fats can trigger inflammation in your body and worsen the arthritis symptoms. This inflammation can make your joints hurt even more and swell up. Plus, fried foods often contain a lot of salt, which causes your body to retain more water, increasing your overall blood volume and your overall weight, and making your joints feel even more uncomfortable. More blood volume can increase your blood pressure too, which can make your symptoms even worse. You can still enjoy tasty food moderately and occasionally. Opt for grilled, baked, or steamed options instead. And use extra virgin olive oil instead of ultra-processed vegetable oils. Number 7. Nightshade vegetables. Nightshade vegetables are basically a group of plants including tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplants, and potatoes. These vegetables contain alkaloids, more specifically solanine, which can contribute to inflammation in your joints, especially if you already have arthritis. But it's important to note that not everyone with arthritis reacts to nightshades the same way. Some people can eat them just fine, while others might feel better without them. Also, the amount of solanine is typically not too much to affect a healthy individual. Sprouted potatoes, or those that have been turning green, may have high levels of solanine, which can be toxic too. But fresh or healthy ones usually don't have too much solanine and are considered safe to eat. So, if you suspect that nightshades are causing you trouble, you can try cutting them out of your diet for a while and see if it helps. Alternatively, you can try leafy greens, broccoli, berries, fatty fish, and anti-inflammatory spices, like ginger and turmeric. These options can help you manage arthritis symptoms while enjoying delicious, healthy foods. Number 8 on our list is dairy products. Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt can trigger inflammation in some people. Inflammation is the body's way of reacting to injury or infection, but in arthritis, it can lead to pain and swelling in the joints. Dairy contains a protein called casein, and for some people, their immune system senses it as a threat and responds with inflammation. Another reason to be cautious with dairy products is the saturated fat content. Too much saturated fat can contribute to weight gain, and extra weight puts more stress on your joints, making arthritis symptoms worse. However, not everyone with arthritis reacts the same way to dairy products. So if you notice that these products make your arthritis symptoms flare up, it might be a good idea to cut back or switch to dairy-free alternatives like almond or soy milk. On number 9, we have salt. Consuming too much of these sodium salts can reduce the availability of calcium for your bones, which can eventually weaken your bones and affect the overall health of your joints. Plus, high salt intake can lead to fluid retention in your body, which can increase the pressure on your joints, worsening your arthritis symptoms. Extra fluid retention can also cause edema, leading to swelling around your joints, especially in your hands, arms, legs, and feet. Too much salt has also been shown to increase inflammation, which, as you know, can be really bad in your condition. Another thing to be cautious about is corticosteroids, or simply steroids, which are commonly used for rheumatoid arthritis treatment. These medications cause the body to hold more sodium as a side effect, and that makes it really important to watch your sodium or salt intake. The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. However, people with arthritis may need to limit their intake even further to 1,500 milligrams per day or less. Lastly, number 10 on our list is refined carbohydrates. Refined carbs are a broad category that includes white bread, white rice, certain fancy cereals, cakes, pastries, and so many more. These foods generally have a high glycemic index, which means they cause your blood sugar levels to rise too quickly, leading to increased inflammation. Plus, they can contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, and even type 2 diabetes, all of which can worsen your joint condition. So it's best to avoid refined carbs altogether and go for whole grains, like brown rice and whole wheat bread. These foods are rich in fiber, which slows down the release of sugar from them. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.